Right. I'll share the screen. Right. So I'll just close this all. This also. Okay. So let's go. Right. So what we'll do? Okay. Yeah. Right. So let's go. Sorry. Right. So first, what we'll learn here is, so we require, we need subscription. We need subscription here. Okay. So generally, subscriptions are of different types. Until unless you don't have subscription, you'll not able to go to the portal. So if you see here, I'll just log into the portal. Go to the portal here. I'm just logging in. Okay. Right. So now, so you see this is, so if at all you have, okay, so just come down. So you see you have some subscription. There is free trial account, free trial subscription here. So if at all you don't have subscription, then you will not able to log in. So this is a free trial account. You can see this is free one, free trial. So generally you get this free trial account only, this free trial. So when you, one is free trial subscription. When you get this either you create by credit card, or you attend any external vendor training. So they give you some voucher. What they do is they give a voucher of 500, so $100 USD. So to that you will have free trial subscription. This is one. Apart from this, we'll have different types of subscriptions also, like dev, test, prod, Visual Studio, and Visual Studio subscription, or a student subscription. You'll have, when you go to student subscription, so what happens is you are part of any college with the email ID. So you can go and create that student subscription. But here you have dev subscription, test to prod, and you have Visual Studio subscription. So Visual Studio is nothing but when you take some Visual Studio license software, then you will get. And other thing is you will have the professional support and standard support. So what is this professional support and standard support? So once, what happens here is, so assume like you have developed something, here. So this in the cloud, right? In the cloud. So you are in the Azure cloud. So you have developed this in the test environment, right? So you do it on the dev environment. After dev environment, what it happens? It goes to test. After that, it goes to SIT. After that, it goes to UIT, right? After that, this definitely has to go to prod, right? This has to go to prod. So there, when you go to in the cloud, in the Azure cloud only, so here, so when you deploy this piece of code here, so you deploy into prod environment now. So you'll have prod environment. Okay, you'll have prod. Now, when you deploy this prod environment, so you might require support from Microsoft, because if something goes wrong, or it needs you need some support from Microsoft in case in an emergency. So you can go and have this professional and standard support also. If you go to this, I'll create. So you see your okay. So I'll search your subscriptions. You have your so we already have free trial account. So you can go and add. Click on this. So it will should tell you what subscription you are eligible for. Just here it will show you different types of subscriptions here. See here we are taking free trial account, right? And you can pay as you go. So when you wanted to use credit card, you can go. You can see students worth. So you should have university email, right? And if you go to others, so you see you have students one. Just come down. As I told you, see. So you have Visual Studio, professional, right? So when you buy Visual Studio software, you will get this Visual Studio. And you see Microsoft. So this is nothing but you pay as you go, nothing but you do it. Now you see you have some developer support here and students here. You see these all subscriptions you have. You see standard support, right? So the you see dev and test subscription, and here you see professional direct support, right? So these are different types of subscriptions are available. So you don't take it when customer goes and starts working in the cloud. So they'll take this type of subscription mostly because you work on the dev and QA, right? So you'll go for dev and test here. So what happens if you go for this? The price would be lesser there because you are rooting for development. So when you start a project, right? If you see here, you are starting a project now. So example, so assume you have started a project from March 2024. So till what time it will go? It might go for years together. It might go. So you don't develop entire thing, right? You develop phase by phase. So it might take. So it might take 2 years, 2 or 3 years, 3 years of time to develop, right? So this is what. But how many number of people would be working in this project? You have this such a big project you have. So what happens here when you are developing a project here? So you'll have n number of people working, right? So you'll have developers, then testers, right? These all would be working on Azure resources. Then if at all you use that on paid subscription, the cost would be very much high. So for that purpose, because you do it, so they'll go for the project. They'll go with dev and test subscription here. They Azure, go with Azure dev and test subscription. They'll go with this because we know that you see those main number of developers here, those main number of testers here, they start developing the project. That project would take some years together to develop that. So the cost would be very much high, right? So this the first thing you need to know. So this is easy. So you do not worry. But once you get into Azure, you'll come to know why you go for this all. So mostly, so here you have paid subscriptions also. You should not go for paid subscriptions. They don't go. So you see a BizTalk, Test Professional, this all you have, and this also Azure sponsorship. You will have different types of subscriptions here. Okay, right. Leave this. So now you know what is that. Until unless you don't have a proper subscription, until unless. So remember, if at all, if you have a valid subscription, right, then only you will be able to create Azure services. So Azure services or resources we call. Anything that you create in cloud is Azure. Remember, anything that you create is an service or resource in the cloud. So you see here, go to this. When you go to the portal here, you see a resource, right? See here, these many in this category you see machine learning, you have analytics, blockchain, compute, containers, databases, tools. So you have these all services, right? So these are whatever you create, and you for creating them, you might require other services. So those all are called as resources. Whatever you create in the cloud. Okay. So if you at all you want to create, so as I told you, if you don't have valid subscription, if you have valid, then only you can go and create these services. This one. Otherwise, no. Okay. Right. That is one. The next thing is most important thing now. So most important. So if you go here, right, you will have resource group. Resource group means what? What do you mean by resource group here? What is resource group? Okay, it's nothing but it's a container or placeholder to place placeholder of all resources belonging to a project, right? It's a container or a placeholder of all resources belong to a project. Means what? So example, so in your home, so we are talking about resource group here. So in your home you might have, so in your home you will have shoe stand, right? Chapel stand or whatever be stand. Assume like chapel stand, right? What do? You put your all family members chapel, right? Shoes, socks, right? And you whatever you feel like slippers, you place, right? These all are put into chapel stand, right? Even whatever you feel like. So for cleaning brushes, you have polish, this all you put here into a chapel stand, right? Yes. Similarly, you might in the home you might have bookshelf. You will have bookshelf. So here what you do? So you'll all place all the books right here in the bookshelf, right now, right? So this is a dedicated place where you put your chapel or shoes or socks or slippers or books in that shelf, right? Either in the chapel stand or on the bookshelf, right? This is what you do it. But here, what do you mean by resource group here then? Resource group. What do you mean by resource group here? So, right, let's go. So now you are developing a project, right? You have started. So you are working with one of the customer. So today you have started one project, right? So you assume like you are working with Citibank, some retail finance is a project name. So you're creating this one, right? You're creating. Now for this project, you might require different services, right? To start developing it. So example, let's go here. Assume you require a virtual machine. You require Azure storage. You require a Azure SQL database. You might require Azure Data Factory. You require Azure Databricks, right? Like this, Azure Key Vault. So these services are required for developing that project, right? So here, what you do, these all resources, these all services or resources which are required to develop this project here. Okay, so which are required to develop this project, that Citibank retail financing. So what you do, these all will you will put in single place. These all services you place in a container, that is called resource group here. You place in a resource group like this. And for resource group, you give some name. Now you are getting right. That is the reason I've told you your chapel stand. You put all your family members' chapel, shoes, stand, rack, shoes, chapel, socks, slippers, all, and here in the bookshelf also, right? And you will have, so you have toothbrush, right? Toothpaste, right? Tongue cleaner. These also you'll put into one container, right? Why do you put there? Because those are specific which are required for that purpose. You place in that container, right? In one vessel or in a stand or something, whatever you feel like. So that is the reason I was telling the bookshelf, chapel stand, and this toothpaste stand also. Now the same concept here I'm applying here. What I'm trying to tell you is, so you are trying to develop a project for one of the customers, Citibank of retail finance, and this project requires these all services, right? And those services you need to use it. So those I am placing into one container called resource group here. Okay, let's go and do it. Now it's here. So here, search for resource group. So for whatever the service you create, you see I'm creating here, I'm going for storage. I click on here. So you see here it is asking resource group, right? Right now. Now, if you go to a SQL data factory, click on create. Every service will ask you the resource group here. Click on create here. Resource group here. Right now. That is a view tag. Right? Now go here. So I'll create a resource group here. Yes, see, I'm creating a resource group. Then I'll whatever the resources I create, I'll tag to this resource group. Yes, see, I'm creating here. Right? So RG hyphen Citibank hyphen retail hyphen finance is what I given. I'm giving that. And where do you want to create this? Because Microsoft has got different data centers, right, across the world. Microsoft has got different data centers across the world. Then where do you want to create? So it will show you. I create in East US region. Now next tags here. So you see I've taken the subscription here, that is free trial, and I've given the resource group name and the region where I want to create. So I've got these all resource groups. So Microsoft has got 200 to 300 data centers across the world. If you see here, you will have India also somewhere. See here, Central India. You will have South India also somewhere. So, okay. So based on you see here, you should have it. South India, right? And above you have Central India also. Central India. So like this, you will have West India also. You have that also. So like this, where do you want to create? Right? Now say next. So here it is asking you tags here. What do you mean by tags? So you're creating this resource group, right? When you're creating this resource group, so you can give here some meaningful tags here. Nothing but this project. So what is this project? Every project will have project ID, account ID, project name, and customer name, and its line of business. So that those would be used to those tags would be used for find out the billing of the resources. So I'll just go. I'll tell you later. Let's go. So I'll go here. I'll giving project ID 1, 2, 3, 4. Project name, right? A now customer name, right? Some ABC, right? Like this I'm giving here. Right? Customer and product, and here you see, and then account ID. Okay. So I'll give something 1, 2, 3, 4, some 6, 7, 8, 9. And here LOB, some retail. Okay. Now go to next year. Next. So these are why you use this, because you see you wanted to these it is shown here, but this resource group using this tags you can find out the resources belong to this resource group. So I'm giving here. Now review plus create. Click on create. Okay, I'll show you when I create resources, it tell you to give the tags so that that will be used for to know the resources of that service. Click on this. Now go to this. You have a resource group. Okay. Now go to home. So now I'll just create and show you, but will not work on that service. Just leave that. Go to storage here. I'm creating here. Leave. I'll just create and show you. That's all. So here's the subscription, because we work with a dev environment, you will have this dev subscription and the resource group. So why you are taking this resource group? Because you are creating this storage account. This storage account has to be tagged to that project, right? I am taking this. Generally, when you are working with multiple so when you work in the real time, you might contain multiple projects. So multiple projects will have, each project will have a unique resource group. Then as you are part of this project, which belongs to Citibank Retail Finance, so you'll be able to see only those resource groups here, not the other one. Okay. So remember, this is all placed based on the axis to which you are tagged. Right. We'll talk on that. Don't worry. Now, how you get this access, how you will be able to how you get access, and how you will be able to log into this portal. We'll talk on that. Leave that. I'm just telling you a resource group. We'll talk on that. That is a very big story. We'll talk. Now go here. I'm giving some name. I wanted to give a name here. I want to create resource. I want to give name same. ASA. Leave. What is that resource story account? We'll talk in detail later. 2024. Okay. Now standard. So just leave. Next. We'll talk these all topics when we come to Azure storage. Not now. Go to this. So you see here it is tag. Now click on this. So you're tagging it. So we created the tags, right? A resource group, and that resource group tags can be given. Why we are giving here? Because that resource group is tagged to this storage account. That is a purpose. That is the reason you are getting here. LOB. Okay. Now review plus create. So you wanted for one of the project you created. So after creating this, we'll go for data factory and create, so that I'm just placing in that storage in that resource group. You see your subscription and the resource group name and which location you are creating. What is the name of the resource, right? Now just create here. I'm just placing in that resource group. Let that get created. Yeah. So when you're deploying it, who is deploying this? There is I'll tell you. So here you have input output template. Here we'll talk. Let this get deployed. We'll talk on that. So there's some script would be running, which is JSON script, which is nothing but Terraform script here. JSON. The input means what you have given here. So input. You have selected something, right? So which location you wanted, what is the name here? So you see it has got deployed. Now go to the output here, right? Because it has got deployed. Now go to the template, what it is used. So see here, it is used these templates. This time it has got parameters, variables, resources, right? You can see the parameters here. You can see the scripts here. So using this PowerShell or CLI, it will create your resource. Okay, right. Now let's go home. We'll talk that all later. Now go to the resource group here, right? You go to this essentials. So these tags we are given, right? You see here, this is resource group. This tags, project ID, project name, customer name, account ID, LOB. Now just refresh here. You should be able to see the storage account here, right? So we have tagged to this resource group, right? Nothing else. Now go to home. Go to home. I'll create data factory, nothing much. So I'll tag and just leave it later. Now let me go. So we talk about data factory when we come to that part. We'll just create and leave it. Now click on create. Now go to the resource group here. Now I'll give something called ADF, some 29032024. Now click on next, next here, next, next. Okay, so you see why tags are taken. So you see your tags are taken to view the consolidated billing by applying the tags to the multiple resource and resource group. Right now, the tags that you are given at the resource group level, and you are creating this data factory, you are tagging to that resource group, and for the resource group what tags you are given, you can map it here. And what is the purpose of having tags? To get the billing of each and every service that you are using it. Okay, that is what. Now just here, if I would have not tagged the if I would have not tagged the resource group to this data factory, then I would have not got these all which are defined at resource group level, right? I've tagged, that is the reason you are getting here. Customer, LOB, project ID. Now go to the project name, right? Now click on next. I think there's something problem here. Validation has got failed. So let's see it. So it is verifying here. Let's go to the previous one. Now it will show you. So in the basic, it has failed. You see in the basic. Go to the previous one. Go back. So this name is already taken. So you see how it has came to know. So because this data factory that you are creating in this location East US2, this name is already taken. I'll just change East US. I'll change this location here. Okay. Let's see. It's already taken by someone. So I'll just change this name. What I'll do, I'll give iPhone demo iPhone 29032024. Okay, I'm giving some unique name here. Now go to next year, next, next, next year. So you got tags, review plus create. Let that get created. So I'll click on create. So you see the subscription that you are using here, and the resource group that you are using, and the name of the data factory and the resource group here, and the version. Leave that all. We don't require. We'll talk when we come to data factory. Let this get created. Okay, yeah, you can see here, right? So you got data factory. Data factory got created. You see the resource group that you are. This is a data factory name, and this is a resource group. And for this resource group, you have this for this data factory. You are using this resource group. Okay, so you say success. Now go back to your resource group here. click on this. So you see the services here, right? Did you see your services? Two services, it is essential, and these services here, resources, resource group, resources, you see, data factory, and store account has got created, right? Right now. So I'm just creating resource and placing in the container. That is the reason I've told you the example of your chapel stand, bookshelf, and toothpaste stand here. The same thing I'm doing it here also. Okay. Is it clear enough? Okay. Right. Let's go to home now. So this is what this is what about your subscription and resource group. The most important thing is, so we have different types of cloud vendors here. So here, if you go to different types of cloud vendors in the market. So right. So we have Microsoft from Microsoft for Azure, Amazon. Okay, that is Amazon Web Services, right? AWS. Now Google Cloud Provider, that is GCP. Okay, then we have IBM, that is Watson. Then we have private private cloud vendors. So these all. So you have these are the different vendors present in the market. And what is the service of these people? What is that they want to do? So here you go to these all, and this private cloud vendor. All is everyone is about to provide service and charge the money for the service used. So this is everyone what everyone does is they'll provide the service for you, right? So best example. So if you at all you have a car, right? You have a car. So you want to go from, assume like you want to travel from one location to from home to office. You want to go. So what do you do? Either you book a cab or Rapido, right? So what is that you are doing here? When you book a cab, are you investing any money here? Investing any money to buy a car? Are you appointing any driver? Are you pouring any petrol? You are making any payment for insurance? Or are you going to take care of monthly services? No, na. You are just booking a cab. So you board in at pickup point, right? And get down at destination, right? Get down at destination. So what do? You just pay the rent for that, right? Similarly, if you go to Rapido, what do? You just book a ride. You get onto the bike and you get down there. That is what you do it. So you are not bothered about the cost of the bike and the service charges or the petrol you want to pour or the insurance ones. You are not bothered, but just using the services of this. You go to Ola or Uber or anything else, you create Meru, whatever you do it. You just book a cab and do this. This is how you do it. But in case if you want to have own car, so what you'll do now? Car is of 10 lakhs cost, right? The next one is if you know driving, okay. Otherwise, you need to take care of driver, right? Then insurance, right? So monthly maintenance, monthly service, right? Then parking place. These all you need to take care because it's your own, right? Na? Because it's your own one, na? You have to invest money there. And if at all you appoint a driver, you need to go additional salary to the driver also. And petrol also, you need to pour the petrol, right? You need to give pour a petrol also here, right? This all you need to do it when you are owning your own car. But if at all you are booking an Uber or something, you are not bothered about this. You are just taking the service from there, right? Na? So the same thing here happens. The same thing in case of wind clouds here. They want to provide service for you, and you need to pay the price for the service that you have used it. Okay. So this is how these all things would happen. Okay, right. This is what the everyone. Now we have different types of clouds. Okay, remember. So that is cloud vendors. We have different types of clouds here. One is private cloud, right? One is public cloud. One is hybrid cloud. So these are three. You have three different clouds. Okay. So what do you mean by public? Let's go with the public, right? Now? Let's go to the public now. So you take TSRTC, you take railways, right? You take airways, you take electricity department, right? So what you are doing here? These are the public government services that you are using it, right? Public. So it's public. You use, make the payment. Anyone can go and use, right? Even if you use Uber, even use Ola, even you use Meru. So these are public services which you, me, everyone, anywhere can use it by making the payment, right? This is one. So the same thing in case of public cloud, right? Public cloud. So here, so you have public cloud here. You go and create. So assume like this is a public cloud. You will have public cloud here. Public cloud is nothing but, so generally when you talk about cloud, when you say cloud here, not leave about public cloud, it doesn't mean that it will be in the sky. No, it doesn't mean that it will be in the sky, or it doesn't be in the sky. So where this would be there? So they'll have, so either, so if you go to this, either if you go to Microsoft, if you go to Amazon, if you go to Google, if you go to IBM, right? If you go to IBM, yes, these all. So when they are doing, so they are doing service. So they have a private cloud now. because they want to do service everyone. So they have, so when you say cloud, so these all four people, what they have got some dedicated center at one location. So here they have got some dedicated location here in this premises. So this is big area. So assume like it is a campus. So assume like this is a data center. A data center that is South India. South India data center. Right? So like this you'll have South India data center. Okay, like this we have. So in this campus, it's similar like your office premises only. So here they'll have campus one tower, tower two, tower three, tower four, tower five. You have like these towers in this data center. And now assume like customer A, right? He wanted, he's creating some service. So Azure storage account, right? So what happens? This would get created in any of the tower. So like this, it will get created, right? And similarly, you go here. So there is customer B. So right, and you wanted Azure SQL database. So this SQL database would get created in any of the tower here. So this is how this gets created, right? So this is a dedicated location. When you say data center, it's a dedicated location. When you say public, everyone, even me, you, or any customer across the world can go and create the services by selecting the data center. So because it is public, so you are not allowed to come to that location. This is a total, because you see the customer A is creating some resource. Customer B is also creating resource. Like this, you'll have some thousands of customers creating their resources in the data center. So you are not, no customer, even though they have their resources in this data center, those people are not allowed to go to the data center and see there. They don't have that permission to it, because there is a public one, because the data is belong, every customer's data is present there. Okay, this is one. So data center is not, cloud is not in the sky, cloud is in the on the ground only, but they will have some dedicated location. How you have your office, right? In single campus, you will have multiple ODCs, multiple towers. Similarly, here also they have own campus with that named as data center. There they have got some towers or ODCs to get the resource created there. And because it's public, and everyone from the world, any part of the world can create the resources. So no one is allowed to go to the data center, even the people who have the resources in the data center. Okay, so this is public. Now we have something called, so we were talking, right? This is public data center. Now this, when you say this hybrid, so this is a combination of public and private here. Hybrid is nothing but combination. So you know public. Now when you go to private here, right? Private. What do you mean private here? Okay. So here, assume you have purchased a car for your family, your father, your dad has purchased a car here, right? So you are investing money, right? So you're investing some 10 lakhs rupees here, right? 10 lakhs you invested. And you need to look after the parking place, right? You need to look after this parking place for this car. And then the driver, you need to look after. And tomorrow, what happens? The insurance, that yearly insurance, and year monthly maintenance, right? And year, right? These all you need to take care, because this is private car, right? Because for your family members, right? So when it is family member private, So only your family members will drive the car, or in few cases your relatives might drive the car, but no one will else come and use that car, right? Because this is private car, na? Because it's only your family, your it's only for your family, but outsiders cannot come here. It is restricted, and you need to have your own car parking area, and you are to get that car, you are investing money there. And that for so why you are investing 10,000 10 lakhs there? Because car has got infrastructure, right? You have seating, engine, tires, this all, right? That infrastructure. And you need to have to place that car, you need to have dedicated location. Either you put in your apartment or you go and put onto the road, right? The same thing when you want to private cloud. So when you go to this, when in what case you go to private cloud here? So we have banking data. So if you go to a bank, HDFC Bank or ICICI Bank or State Bank of India, you will have thousands of people, customers, right? They have got the deposits, withdrawal, the transaction, checks, personal loans, insurance, vehicle loans, home loans. Those all data would be present, right? So what they say is, we want to have our own private cloud. So what happens when they wanted their own private cloud here? So till now, Microsoft was having their own dedicated center. But when you go to this private cloud here, right? Now, assume like we are going with SBI, and they want to go with private cloud here. They want to, because of data. They want to go with private cloud here. With whom they want to go? So they want to go with Microsoft, right? Assume like they want to go with Microsoft here. So why Microsoft now again? I'll tell you. So when they want to go to private cloud here, so this location where they want to make this as private cloud, so that location should be shown by SBI only. So SBI has to provide this location. SBI to provide the location. It has to give that. And here we know this might have some towers. Why towers? These all. So you create services. Those services will get created in that locations. Right? This is what happens. Now this is okay. Now you want to create the storage account here. So example, you are creating a storage, Azure storage here, and you want to create a SQL database, SQL database. So when you're creating this storage and SQL database, they need some infrastructure, right? They wanted some machines, they wanted hard disk, they wanted a virtual network, they wanted a power, they wanted internet. These all are required. So who will spend that money? SBI has to spend this money on infrastructure part, because this private cloud, na, Microsoft will not do it. Microsoft will only come and provision these resources. Microsoft will, because they are in connect with Microsoft. Microsoft will come and provision those resources, those resources. But for creating the resources, who will bear that infrastructure? So my SBI has to bear the infrastructure cost. Infrastructure cost by SBI has to bear here. Microsoft doesn't do it. Microsoft only comes here. Why? Because it's private, na? They'll come, they'll provision the resource. Remaining all data would be in SBI location only. And that building, dedicated building, that all has to be taken by SBI only. Because it's private, na? Because SBI has got many things, right? They work with finance, they work with banking, retail, home loan, personal loan, vehicle loan, loan, and insurance. So these all are there, na? Fixed deposit, whatever we stocks them. So these all they'll work. So such a huge amount of data they have, customers' data. So they don't want to put on to the public cloud. They want to have their own dedicated center. In India, they can say that. So this all doesn't happen in India. Anything can happen, but if you go to the other countries, the data is very much secure. They don't share to anyone, right? So in that case, my SBI will go and have its own data center, and Microsoft will help them to provision the resources. Provision resources, infrastructure, everything should be taken care by SBI. Microsoft will only come and pitch in whenever you get some issue. They don't come here until unless you ask them to come to that data center. So this is totally private. So that is the reason I've told you here. Something like you want to purchase a car, so first you need to invest money. Then you wanted to have that place, put a place, then you need to have your own parking place either in the apartment or in your individual house. Or else you need to go and put on the street. So these all, so that is the reason I've told private car. Private. Now going to upgrade hybrid. So this combination of public and private is public and private is hybrid. Then what comes here? Okay. So if you go to this, so I'll open a HDFC Bank here. So I'm able to log in na? HDFCbank.com site. I'm able to log in. I can directly go to this, click on login, net banking. I can do it, right? But this website is in a public cloud website. Why website is in public cloud? If it is in private cloud, then I'm not allowed to go into public cloud and do it, right? Sorry. If it is on private cloud, as a customer, I'm not able to go to private cloud and access the resources here, right? So what happens here is, so see here, in case of hybrid, so here you'll have two, when you go to this SBI, right? So in the case of hybrid cloud, so this has got, it has got private cloud. So private cloud is of Microsoft, sorry, SBI, because this is maintained by SBI. So here you have data. So you'll have all data here in private cloud. But this SBI will also go to public cloud here. Yes, here. Public cloud here. Right? We know. So what happens in the public cloud? Here you have public cloud, right? So here they'll have some machine. So they'll go here. They will have some machine here. Right? Some server. Here the website HDFC app is installed onto the server. And as a user, I'll connect to this HDFC site. So I'm opening here. I've opened, right? I'll click on this login. Click on this net banking. I'll provide this user. So what happens here? So now as a user, right? I'm sitting at home on public internet. What I'll do? I'll go here. I'll open this browser. I'm opening this browser and typing as www.hdfcbank.com in the browser. Now what happens? It will connect to this. It will connect to here, right? This is how the application comes here. Now you provide that username, password, whatever will be customer ID. So once you enter and click on submit, what happens? That details. So that yeah, this one. So you submit username, password. So that request go from here. It will go back to this private cloud. Okay. So you will not directly access the private cloud. The request will go to private cloud. It will validate that username, password is all. After that is right. And if at all you are not logging from the same machine, or it detects that you are not you, it will say, it will ask you some additional details. This all, right? This all. Then after that is authenticated. Then request from this public cloud will go to private cloud, and from private cloud it will get the data and shown to the user on the browser. This is a, so you see, entire data is in the entire data that you are using is your entire, whatever the data that you are using is in private cloud, but only the website is on server, just application. But entire, after validation is done, then only request go to private cloud. This is how it happens. Okay, so this is about your resource group, subscription, different vendors, public cloud, private cloud. Okay, so remaining will talk on Monday. So you will have, so this is all models, this is types. So we have service models also, cloud service models. So here we have got IaaS, we have got platform, sorry, PaaS, we have got SaaS here. So this, like, you will have 3 service models here. Okay, we'll talk on that service models on tomorrow, on Monday. Then we'll slowly start creating. We'll go to storage account. We'll slowly start. Okay, so just try to, whatever I told yesterday, today, just go through before you come for the Monday session. So any doubt before we wind up for the day? I'm open up for the questions. Any doubt before we wind up for the day? No doubt. So great. I am audible. How many people are in front of the system?
Yeah,
No.
Srikanth.
Yeah, Srikanth, you are audible.
Okay, you are able to catch me.
Yeah.
I just joined 20 minutes back, so yeah, but I think I'm able to follow.
Yeah. I'll be going much detail. Don't worry on that subject. I'll be going much detail. My mouse was not working proper. I'll get replace the mouse also. I'll go in much detail when I say the subject. You need not worry about the subject. If at all you practice whatever I tell you, so I've told you the sessions, all the course would take some 55 to 60 hours of content. So huge content you have. If at all you practice them thoroughly, you can claim around some 3 to 5 years of experience in Azure data engineering. I'm telling you, the way I've told you, I'm not only a trainer, I am a technical architect in one of the company. So I'll be telling in detail, very detail I'll be telling. If at all you are able to catch me, and if at all if you learn the way I've told you, definitely you can put on your resume 4 to 5 years, not less than that. Okay, so we'll take detail. So what I request is, so go through this before you come for Monday session. That is today's yesterday session, and be prepared from Monday. So I've already started few of the beginning basic subject. So we'll talk on the service models, then storage, same SQL database. We need to go into the subject now. Okay, right. So then I'll wind up the session here. We'll connect again on Monday. Okay, right. Thank you, guys.
Okay, Srikanth.
Right. Thank you.